Okay, what's up everyone, and welcome back to yet another vlog. Today's a little bit different. See, there's been quite a lot of news on social media. I mean, guys, what has been happening at the UCI World Championships in Australia, it's been, to say the least, pretty crazy. I mean, really, a lot has been happening. And when I woke up this fine Sunday morning, there's snow outside on the mountains, really good weather. Compared to yesterday here in Andorra. I woke up with the news of Mathieu van der Poel being arrested. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors around this arrest. We obviously don't know the truth as to yet, because there'll be a lot of speculation. Some people saying, how could this have happened to him? And other people saying, well, we always claim to be the victim, but maybe he was in the wrong. We just don't know. It goes without saying that I would presume the hotel that he was in, normally when you go to World Championships, you would like to stay in a quiet place in general, because you would like to sleep well, be well rested, and not be bothered by the public. But he's quite famous, so I don't know what the circumstances is around that. However, what we do know is that he was arrested around about 10:40 p.m. at night. He had an altercation with two girls. Apparently he pushed one, she grazed the elbow lightly, and so they allowed him to participate in the World Championships. He only got back to his hotel around about 4 a.m., which is obviously not ideal, and they confiscated his passport. So I'm presuming, from what we could read here, they confiscated his passport, and he will appear in court, I think, on Tuesday on charges of abuse. You can imagine when he woke up with a noise outside of his room, he was really highly irritated. Obviously, it doesn't give you the right to assault someone, but let's be honest, what is assault? Pushing someone, something fake? I don't know. I mean, you guys get where I'm going with this. Especially in places like America, huh? Everyone in the workplace tries to sue everyone for assault and try to get claims and things like that. But I'm not saying this is what happened here. We have absolutely no idea. Just really, really surprised about the things that happen. We know obviously the officials and the police and everything are quite strict in Australia. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but especially with, I don't know if you know about the Novak Djokovic case, where he flew there, obviously obtained a visa the legal way. He flew there, they allowed him to fly there, and once he arrived there, they detained him. I mean, he would have never gone there if he did not have the permission to go there. So on whose fault is that, So a lot of controversy surrounding travels to Australia and how people are treated. I mean, it's a bit weird. I hope this is just the situation is just blown out of proportion. He also did pull out of the race eventually. I mean, really sad for the preparation he's done. But like I said, I don't hope this whole thing gets blown out of proportion, and that justice will be served in whichever way it will be. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of it. I think it's pretty crazy. On another note, I mean, pretty cool to see Mickalene Von Fluhn winning the women's road race after a terrible incident. I did find it quite bizarre, to say the least, on her, as I'm looking through Twitter now. I did find it quite bizarre, because immediately after she crashed, she blamed the front tire for exploding. There was some in-depth investigation and analysis of that, and turns out after some good investigation, what happened is when you stand and pedal, obviously you are expecting to have resistance on the left or the right side as you stand and pedal on the TT bike. And what happened is the chain went from the big blade to the small blade as she was about to stand and pedal on the left-hand side. And obviously, when you pedal and all of a sudden there's no resistance, what happens? You end up crashing. So it's not anyone's fault per se, and I don't know You know what also can happen that sometimes is the buttons of the shifters are really sometimes sensitive, so you sometimes end up accidentally pressing one of the shifting buttons unintentionally. And if you're standing and pedaling and this happens, especially on the front blade, then you can end up crashing, for example, like what happened. Yeah, if this is what happened exactly, I don't know, that the chain go from the big blade to the small blade on a technicality on its own, or yeah, you know, when they travel internationally, a time trial bike is not something you use quite often, and it's quite new, so it's not like your road. It's not as reliable as your road bike. You know, the mechanics, you don't know, do you have the same team mechanics? Is it mechanics from the National Federation? I won't really say it's someone's fault. I'll just say TT bikes are quite finicky, but I mean, stuff like that happens. But it is quite interesting. I mean, speaking of rules, and this is what this whole vlog is about, is just look at a sock height. Now, that's definitely illegal. I mean, it's like soccer. It's like, this is, I mean, you guys can probably see it. This is really, really high. It's definitely outside of the UCI rules. Don't think they're going to do anything about that. Not that they should. I think the sock height rule is ridiculous and stupid anyway. And yeah, just to finish it off, something interesting that is happening is I see the UCI has banned a certain journalist for looking into them. Pretty sad to see. I mean, freedom of speech and protecting journalism in our sport and in general in the eye of the public is really important, because the truth in many cases needs to get out, and this does not look good for the UCI having banned this journalist from attending events, saying they can't trust him. I mean, what does that mean in terms of journalism? So that's the end of it. I'll post the link of it down. And if you are curious what this journalist was looking into, I'll leave the link in the description down below. You can click on that link and look into it a little bit further. But yeah, I think journalists should be respected a bit more in terms of the time and effort they do in finding out unethical practices, wouldn't you say? But anyway, yeah, it's congratulations to Remco Evenepoel for winning the World Championships. He's been incredibly strong, especially on one-day events, not just tours. He's won the Volta a España now, so he showed he can climb as well on the steep climbs. And I just think what makes him so good is his aerodynamic position. He's got a really low CDA value. I think one of the few riders that gets to a CDA value under 0.2 on the road bike. You can go read into the science around what CDA values is and how low you can get it. But to give you an idea, is definitely be below 0.2, I would say, on the road bike. So when he attacks and he's on his own, he saves a lot of watts compared to a guy like Pino or whoever riding, or Alessandro De Marchi, that's really high up. Taking consideration your CDA value is more relevant when you are on a flat section compared to when you're climbing. I mean, then at a lower speed, your CDA value is less relevant. But once again, congratulations, Remco. I think it was a great ride. And without further ado, I better get my day going and training going. But I hope you guys enjoy this content. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'll keep these vlogs going. What's next for me is I'll be racing in Malaysia, Tour of Langkawi. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think there's a couple of World Tour teams there as well, because they're obviously probably hunting points, I presume. Otherwise, I don't know why they would be doing Langkawi so late in the year, or maybe just giving riders that have not been racing that much opportunity to get some race days in the legs. It is an 8-day tour. It's going to be hot and humid. There's one massive climb. I think Genting past 25 k's at 7%. So at least we're going to have one big queen stage. It's going to be fun, and yeah, we're looking forward to go there. But anyway, without further ado, let's end the vlog and get the day going. Cheers, guys. All the best.